What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Friday morning's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. Don't you worry, I will be back a little bit later to react to Arne Slot's first Liverpool press conference, which is taking place at 11 a.m. I will be back at about 3:30 to give you my thoughts on what the gaffer has had to say. But until then, we want to keep you up to date with the very latest transfer news surrounding our football club. Of course, we want to know your thoughts as well. So let us know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it. And if you just look up to the top corner of the screen, you will see that we've gone past 262,000 subscribers. I want to say thank you again for your continued support of the channel. Right, to kick us off today, a bit of a light-hearted one. Alexi Lalas, former US international and Fox Sport, I believe, pundit over in the States. He has urged the US Federation to do everything in their power to persuade Jurgen Klopp to become the next manager of the men's national team. I think it would have to be a very big offer because, with all due respect, the US men's national team do have a lot to look forward to, the World Cup coming up as well, but I don't know if you'd be able to tempt Jurgen Klopp to depart Europe and head over to the States. But you never know, maybe Alexi Lalas is onto something here. I think it's a little bit far-fetched. Personally, I'd love to know your thoughts, though, especially the American viewers watching. I'm sure you would be very happy with Jurgen Klopp, but do you think there's any chance that Alexi Lalas' dream can come to fruition? The next one is about Marc Cucurella and what he's been saying to a Liverpool transfer target. We know that Chelsea as well as Liverpool are in the market for a winger or an attacking player, and this piece here said that Marc Cucurella has been trying to sell Chelsea to summer transfer target Nico Williams, and admits he's facing stiff competition from Barcelona and other members of that Spanish national team. Barcelona players and other members of the Spanish national team. Look, he should stay well clear of Chelsea. I'd love him at Liverpool, and I think there's still a possibility of it, but if he has any sense whatsoever, do not go near Chelsea. It is just, you won't have enough room in the dressing room, Nico. You won't be able to find yourself somewhere to hang up your top fella. So ignore Marc Cucurella. Sure, he's hardly getting a game anyway. Come to Anfield, mate. I understand maybe he wants to go to Barca, and there was an article yesterday that said Barcelona's chief, Juan Laporta, has given the go-ahead or the green light for them to go after Nico Williams, but I don't know if they have the money to make it possible. For me, this is a dream signing. Liverpool can make it happen, and here's how. If you look at the fee for Nico Williams, it's believed to be about £45 million, and he's asking for about £300 a week in wages. That sounds astronomical, but let's remember something. The football club have been letting the world know that we've saved about £18.5 million per year in wages, when Thiago Alcantara, Joel Matip and Adrian San Miguel depart the club. So that gives us that much money each year to play around with. And the way the football transfers and wages are put onto the club's book is they are spread over the course of the player's contract, and it's amortised. So let's play a little game. Nico Williams' £45 million transfer fee split over 5 years is £9 million per season. On top of that, the wages are about, if he wants 300 grand a week, that's about 15 million a year. So the club aren't all that far off covering that just by the money we've saved for the wages of Adrian, Thiago and Joel Matip. But still a way to go. I think this is very feasible, and I think Nico Williams is a world beater, and we should do everything we can to try and make that deal happen. Now, I think Marc Cucurella is probably right. Barcelona are probably the most likely, and I think if we are to act, there's been a lot of talk in the last 24 hours again about the fact that Anthony Gordon has had his head turned now by Liverpool and would still be open to a move, and he's been speaking to his international teammates about the possibility of him ending up at Anfield, even after the debacle with him trying to be offered to Liverpool just so Newcastle can meet the PSR requirements. One thing that did catch our eye yesterday, and we talked about it on last night's stream, was a post from Spy on Cop, or the Cop HQ2 on social media, who said George Mendes' agency are holding a meeting with Liverpool representatives. Now, he did say that he believes that the meeting wasn't about Ryan Aït-Nouri, who was one of Gestafute's players who were signed up to the agency. So we took a little look through the Gestafute agency's list of players to try and figure out who we may be talking to George Mendes about. Now, we do have some players at the club who are already signed to the agency. Darwin Núñez, Diogo Jota are the two main ones. But if we look through their other stars, there are maybe a few players there that I wouldn't mind coming into Liverpool. So, let's have a look. Pedro Neto, he's signed to Gestifew. Obviously a Wolves player, somebody who's been linked to Liverpool quite a bit, but initially you would have injury concerns about him. Next one down on the list, João Neves, another very talented young player. Could do with moving to Liverpool as well. I wouldn't say no, but let's keep moving because there are lots of players on this list that I think may be worth a shout for us. And I'd love to know who you think we were talking to the Gestifew agency about yesterday in that meeting, because it is interesting. Could have been about Darwin, could have been about Diogo, could have been about the next name on my list, Lenny Yoro, who I still firmly believe will end up at Real Madrid. But maybe Liverpool are just checking in, just saying if that deal doesn't happen, reminding them that they are there and we are ready to pay the fee that Lille want and give the kid his wages and turn him into a superstar. But again, it's rather far-fetched. Next up, Manuel Ugarte, who has been linked in the past, previously last summer, but the most likely destination for him at the minute seems to be, if he is to come to the Premier League, Manchester United, although they're lowballing with the price so far, offering about half of what PSG are asking. Another player who is signed up to the Gestifew agency is one of my own personal favourites, Antonio Silva. Young centre-back playing for Benfica. He would probably cost about €100 million if Liverpool were to try to sign him. I think the sensible play at centre-back is probably Mark Gay from Crystal Palace. And I have a couple of more names on the list. Ryan Knight-Nuri, of course, somebody who Liverpool have also been linked with extensively. Now, I know Spy and Cop have said that they don't believe it was Knight-Nuri that was being spoken about in this meeting, but of course he is a player that we've been linked to in the past and that many of us would like brought in to freshen up the full-back position. The last name on the list is one that Anything Liverpool previously suggested as a bit of a curveball option should the goalkeeping department need to be refreshed, and that is Rui Patricio. He is out of contract this summer, so if Adrian does indeed depart back to Real Betis, maybe Liverpool could do worse than bringing Rui Patricio in as the number 3 keeper, maybe even number 2, and then figure out what's going on with Yaros and of course Quivin Kelleher. Now, the last thing that I have for you guys was a late update last night from Fabrizio Romano around the future of Liverpool-linked Federico Chiesa. This piece says, Juventus' decision on Federico Chiesa is clear. Plan to sell the Italian winger this summer with his contract due to expire in June 2025. Thiago Motta, the new Juventus manager, doesn't see Chiesa as a key part of his project and is looking for solutions. Juventus want to bring in a new winger after they sign Coop Miners from Atalanta. I mean, you see where I'm going with this? For the right price, I think Chiesa would be a very astute signing. He would give us cover across the front line. I'm well aware he's got a sketchy injury track record and his form can be up and down, which is why I'm talking about for the right price. If we could get him in for 25 or 30 million euro on a reasonable wage, I think this would be a no-brainer of a deal for Liverpool, or in fact many other Premier League clubs. Let me know what you think about Chiesa. I'd kind of think of him in the same way as I think of Diogo Jota. A really, really good squad player who can come in and do a job, but you wouldn't really want to go into the season relying upon because of potential injuries and form and stuff like that. Diogo, when he's firing, is really good, and so is Federico Chiesa. So, let me know your thoughts on them. Now, as I did mention, I will be back at about 3:30 to give you guys my take on Arne Slot's first press conference as Liverpool head coach. Love to know your thoughts as well, so do keep an eye out for that video. There'll be another news video coming out tonight at about 10 o'clock. No live streams Friday and Saturday because obviously everyone's going to be busy watching the quarterfinals of the Euros, and if your nation is lucky enough to be there, best of luck to everybody involved. I will be keeping you up to date with news videos over the next 2 days, but the next live content here on the channel will be on Sunday night, where I will be back at 8:45 for another late night agenda. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.